Jakub, a Czech scientist studying space, wakes up aboard his spaceship far from Earth. His friend Peter, who helps with the flight, calls him. Today, Earth wants to talk to Jakub because he's a hero. Tuma, who runs the Czech space program, greets Jakub. He's been flying alone for 189 days. There's something strange in space called Chopra's cloud. It's been there for 4 years. Jakub's job is to go to Jupiter and find out what it is. In a few days, he'll collect samples to study. During a conversation, someone says Jakub must feel very lonely. But Jakub says he's not. He's far from Earth, but he's halfway back and will return soon. He talks to his wife Linka using a special system that's faster than light. This helps him not feel lonely. Jakub's journey is long, but he's not alone. He has friends, a job to do, and his wife's support. On the television screen, during a break from the regular program, a smiling Jakub enthusiastically promotes various products from a supportive sponsor. However, the mood shifts when the camera pans to an astronaut, his expression soured by fatigue, revealing the toll of sleepless nights in space. Simultaneously, Lenka, back on Earth, records a heartfelt message for her husband, expressing regret for their strained relationship. Before the message can be sent, it's intercepted by the flight curator, who redirects it to Tuma, a crew member on board the spacecraft. On the vessel, Jakub grumbles while fixing a malfunctioning toilet, his frustration evident. Meanwhile, Peter, another crew member, frets over malfunctioning cameras and notices the weary demeanor of the astronaut. Concerned, he suggests the astronaut take a break and get some rest. Jakub, troubled by his inability to reach Lenka, vows to investigate the communication issue. As Tuma listens to Lenka's message, her concern for Jakub's well-being grows, but she hesitates to share it with him, fearing it will distract him from his duties. Unaware of Tuma's dilemma, Jakub continues his routine, unaware of the unfolding events. Lenka, meanwhile, prepares to leave, consumed by her decision to distance herself from her husband. Her lack of response to Jakub's messages deepens his distress. Struggling with exhaustion, Jakub seeks solace in sugary treats, hoping they will help him sleep. However, his attempts are thwarted by the persistent noise from the malfunctioning toilet. Disoriented and fatigued, Jakub catches a glimpse of something unsettling in the mirror. A strange movement beneath his skin, tentacles emerging from his mouth. Terrified, he jerks awake, the nightmare plaguing his rest. He begins his day by jogging on the treadmill, then prepares to set up the equipment for collecting samples. Many of the ship's cameras are broken, and nobody knows why. He's worried about Lena, who hasn't been in touch, and one day Jakub hears a strange voice offering help, but Peter hears nothing. Maybe Jakub picked up a message from the Korean mission, which started after the Czech one, but the language wasn't Korean. Later, a friend tells him that Lena went to her mother's and will contact him when she returns. Jakub feels a bit relieved and continues his work. While inspecting the compartments, he spots a large, hairy spider. He closes the compartment doors and tries to contact Peter, but the camera in that part of the station isn't working. Jakub opens the doors, but the spider is still there. Surprisingly, it speaks, saying it didn't mean to frighten him. Jakub locks himself in the airlock and tells Peter he wants to disinfect the ship. He puts on a spacesuit, activates the system with a password, and fills space with disinfecting foam, reminding him of a sunny morning in the field with Lena. After cleaning, Jakub leaves the airlock, but the spider is still there. It tells him the foam didn't harm it and suggests removing the suit. It's not dangerous. When Jakub tries to touch it, the spider moves away, saying it's not customary in its tribe for humans to do that. It's an explorer who stumbled upon Earth. It studied life for 3,758 years, learned Earth's languages, but never understood human souls. Meeting Jakub, it felt his loneliness and came, unable to comprehend what's happening. Jakub reflects on the encounter, pondering the spider's loneliness in the vastness of space. He realizes they share a sense of isolation, both far from home. Despite their differences, they find a connection in their solitude. As they converse, Jakub learns about the spider's adventures and shares his own experiences. Together, they find solace in each other's company, forging an unexpected bond amidst the emptiness of space. In this unlikely friendship, they discover that even in the darkest reaches of the universe, companionship can be found. The astronaut finds solace within the cozy confines of the sleeping compartment, seeking refuge from the vast expanse of space that surrounds him. Yet, as he retreats into this sanctuary, he is unexpectedly besieged by vivid recollections of his beloved wife. Memories of her laughter and gentle voice flood his senses, echoing through the emptiness of the station. Seeking distraction, Jakub ventures into the station's room, only to find himself confronted once more by the apparition of Lena. To his astonishment, he learns that the source of these haunting memories is none other than a spider, whose curiosity about human emotions has driven it to broadcast his deepest thoughts and feelings. Despite his initial reluctance, Jakub finds himself unable to dissuade the arachnid from its well-intentioned meddling. Meanwhile, on Earth, Lenka seeks refuge with her mother, burdened by the weight of her impending motherhood. Faced with the prospect of raising a child alone, she takes shelter in a boarding house for expectant mothers, grappling with the conflicting emotions stirred by her decision to leave her husband. As Jakub reluctantly shares his provisions with the spider, he learns of its tragic past, the destruction of its home planet and its subsequent journey through the cosmos in search of refuge. Moved by the creature's plight, he finds himself pondering the fleeting nature of existence and the inexorable passage of time. On Earth, Lenka wrestles with her own doubts and fears, confiding in her mother about the challenges that lie ahead. Despite her uncertainties, she resolves to embrace the future with courage and determination, determined to provide a loving home for her unborn child. Guided by the spider's enigmatic wisdom, Jakub is transported back to the early days of his courtship with Lena, reflecting on the promises they made to one another in moments of youthful optimism. Yet as he grapples with the complexities of human relationships, he finds himself questioning the validity of such vows in the face of life's inevitable uncertainties. In a poignant gesture of solidarity, Jakub requests a portion of the precious nut paste from the spider, a simple offering imbued with profound significance. And as Lenka prepares to embark on the journey of motherhood alone, she finds solace in the knowledge that love, however imperfect, endures. At the train station, Jakub starts thinking about what to call the spider he's found. He suggests naming it Hannes. He remembers a story his father told him about an old master who made clocks and was punished by the king. The spider agrees to the name. Later, Jakub plays music from a famous opera and explains it to Hannes. The spider shares a memory of meeting his wife, but Jakub doesn't want to think about it. That night, Jakub has nightmares about his father who died because of his beliefs. Hannes comforts him, saying there's no need to worry about the past. The next day, Hannes watches Jakub exercising and learns about the importance of keeping fit in space. Hannes doesn't understand why humans would leave Earth. Meanwhile, Tuma visits Lena, who doesn't want to dwell on the past. Tuma promises not to tell anyone about their conversation. Only 45 hours remain until they reach their destination. Suddenly, Lena's voice echoes through the station. Jakub rushes to the transmitter and sees Lena's face on the screen. They talk about their memories and hopes for the future. Jakub tries to catch a glowing particle that Hannes calls the beginning, but it slips through his fingers. The ship loses communication and particles start swirling around. Hannes reassures Jakub that the beginning won't hurt him. It's something beyond human understanding. Hannes wonders why the arrival of a child upsets Lena, sensing her fear. Jakub tells a story about losing his first child. He wasn't there for his wife when she needed him. The spider shows Jakub a memory where he promised to support his wife but broke that promise. His wife stopped believing him. Later, Jakub talks to Peter on a special phone, but Hannes, a computer, shows Jakub memories of him and his wife arguing. He realizes he didn't understand his wife's feelings. The spider thinks Jakub is selfish and blames him for being lonely. Jakub panics because he doesn't want to be alone. He tries to grab the spider, but it stops him and flies away. Jakub promises to change and follows the spider. He sees an image of his wife and feels sad about losing her. Jakub calls Peter and asks him to visit his wife. Peter gives her the special phone. Jakub apologizes to his wife for being selfish and neglecting her. He realizes he wasted his life on unimportant things. After the call, Hannes tells Jakub to rest because he's made up for his mistakes. Jakub asks the spider not to leave him, and it admits it's scared of being alone too. But then Jakub sees the spider isn't feeling well. It confesses that enemies have taken over its body. It hugs Jakub and he falls asleep. The spider wakes Jakub up and brings him coffee. Jakub prepares for a big discovery. He contacts the Space Authority and says his mission is for everyone on Earth, especially Lena. Afterward, he slows down and starts gathering samples using special tools. But suddenly, the spider falls sick. Jakub leaves his task to aid his friend. The equipment malfunctions, and orders from Earth to halt sample collection are unheard, as Jakub is fixated on Hannes floating in space. System failures plague the ship, prompting the control center to call off the mission. But Jakub, donning a spacesuit, arms himself with a bomb and ventures outside. Peter, bewildered, implores his friend to return. Ignoring pleas, Jakub detonates the bomb to catch up with the spider, seizing it just in time. Grateful, Hannes acknowledges Jakub's efforts, yet impending peril looms as enemies close in. Amidst the vast expanse of space, Jakub reminisces about a near-drowning experience, finding solace in his father's past actions, granting forgiveness to both his father and him. Hannes guides him towards a cosmic convergence where past, present, and future coalesce, revealing the immutable truth of the universe's cyclical nature. Before him, Lena materializes once more, prompting Jakub to recognize the miraculous nature of their encounters, akin to his encounter with the spider. Sharing a moment, Jakub offers his friend a tin of preserved nut paste, a gesture of camaraderie. In gratitude, Lena requests to listen to the silence, only to disintegrate into myriad particles, consumed by worm-like entities that annihilated her race. Meanwhile, on Earth, Lenka observes a radiant purple particle amidst the grass, heralding a transformative event. In a surreal scene, Jakub, clad in a spacesuit, navigates a crystalline stream as Lena, adorned in a mermaid costume, beckons him for a kiss. Her visage lingers in his thoughts, momentarily eclipsed by the sight of lights from a South Korean vessel, rescuing him from the abyss. Later, Jakub reconciles with his wife over a call, expressing regret for his absence and longing for another kiss. The fantastical yet poignant narrative illustrates an astronaut's journey, traversing millions of kilometers, only to realize the paramount importance of family after encountering extraterrestrial wisdom. The audience is left hopeful that he will rediscover his purpose. If you enjoyed this captivating tale of cosmic exploration and human connection, please show your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing for more riveting stories.